Okay, back here working on the grue. What I've done is I've I started to make the template for the floor, so the hunk of plywood for the floor. So what I come up with is this behemoth. So I just had hunks of cardboard I got from a business that gets lots of cardboard in boxes and stuff, and I just joined them kind of all together, and I took the pieces I cut out and kind of made the outline on one piece of cardboard, same as the other side for the other side here, and then just join the two kind of together and just tape them together. And same with the back, another two pieces at the back, same thing. So yeah, got it all drawn out on the plywood, traced out, and I'm gonna get ready to cut it, and hopefully it's not too shy, because it's like 40 bucks for a sheet of plywood. It's actually a sheet and a little bit here. You see the join there. So it's just a leftover piece from the transom piece. So yeah, I'll get that cut out and keep going. Show you, this is the template I cut out, or not cut out, traced out. You can see where I had to add an extra piece of plywood for the line. Goes over there, some little notches and things. Yeah, so that'll be this is the front obviously, and then the back. So I'll have to figure out the size of the splash well, but I just wanted to get this piece cut and fitted so it fits good, and then I can just double check the height of the stringers before I start glassing. I gotta leave a little bit less on the stringers just because the glass is going to go on there. So that's going to add probably 1/8 of an inch possibly. So that's where I'm at with that. So I'll get my jigsaw out and cut her up. Okay. All right, I got all the plywood for the floor dry fitted, really tight as I could get it. That extra piece I had to put in the front there. Can you see the line? So I'm glad that's over with. Now I can concentrate on the stringers, get them bedded in, just run some thickened epoxy where they're going to lay down. And of course, coat them with epoxy first in the lower part where they're going to attach to the bottom here, and then bed them in and secure them. So let them cure overnight or set overnight, and then I can do all the shimming or leveling or whatever I need to do. Looks like maybe a little bit back here under that stringer, and just have to play with that. It's just too hard to do it now with the stringers moving around in there. They move around too much, so I'll have to glass them in and or just bed them in with some thickened epoxy just to hold them in place and get it all shimmed and leveled, and then I can actually glass them in. Yeah, cover them with matte 1708 and go from there. And yeah, thanks to Mad Cow Jeremy for letting me use his GoPro again. He's got a show tonight. There he is working on his favorite thing ever, next to his wife, his truck. So yeah, back to the grue. This is my kind of favorite thing, I guess you could say, but not my real favorite thing. Jesus is my favorite. My wife is next. Yes. So, praise God. Okay, laying the stringers in here, running my fiberglass matting. I've been doing it in pieces because this board had a warp in it, so I had to have this stick here to prop it back in line, because I couldn't keep it straight enough on the rail here. So just first I put some thickened epoxy down before I laid in the glass mat underneath this on the bottom, just to fill any voids, because there's a lot of unperfectness obviously in this hull, and I didn't feel like grinding and gave it up. So I said, no, that's it, good enough. Thickened epoxy can fill those voids. So I'm just tabbing this first stringer in. And it's hot today, really hot. 30, 31, 32 I think. This epoxy is setting up really quick. So I'm gonna move quick. Obviously making smaller batches. I just did 10 pumps of each. 10 pumps of the resin, 10 pumps of the epoxy. And that's what I've been doing here so far. Seems to work okay. It's good to get good thick. I was going to use a roller on this, but this brush, these cheap brushes I got, actually work really good. They kind of tab in really nice. They work quite well. I've got, I think, about 24 or 30 of them, so good thing, because I'm going through them like crazy. Might have to get some more of these buckets too. So, oh, dropped my glasses. Uh-oh. So this 1708 really absorbs a lot of resin. So oh, resin on my glasses. Oh well. Okay, now I got a short one here. I'll put on. I think I have enough resin for that. Definitely make smaller batches, especially when it's hot, because it will set up, start, you can just feel it heating up. Actually, it's like, whew, it's getting warm. That means it's setting up quick here. So, and one of them I was using earlier started smoking on me. I was like, wow, that's hot. So, but I had a lot of footage of other stuff on here on my phone, but I wasn't able to transfer it from my phone to my editor's computer. So my iPhone, the plug-in jack where you charge it and all that stuff doesn't work. It's worn out, or I don't know, it doesn't connect anymore. It goes off and on, off and on. So I had to, tried to text it and all that stuff didn't work, so I lost a lot of footage of other things I had done on the group. So now, let's see if I have enough for this last piece or not. Probably have to make a quick batch. Yeah, I think so. By no means any type of professional at this, so any comments or suggestions or things that I know I should have one continuous piece here, but I thought this one I just use all my scrap pieces up. I will probably go over it one more time anyway with another piece, and bigger one that'll overlap, obviously. But there. Okay, make some more. Okay, here again. Just mixing up another batch. A few more tabs to finish off here. Takes about a minute to mix up this stuff, but gotta make sure you mix it, otherwise you don't want to have a bad cure or didn't cure or whatever. But yeah, good to mix this up. It's a pain in the butt, but you gotta do it. So what I do sometimes, I just have these buckets, you know, say have 10 pumps or 20 pumps or 5 pumps in them, and just mark. I just write on the side of the bucket, and then then I know I just have to add the hardener and mix it up, and then I'm ready to go again. So just almost got her. Being hot today, it does set up a lot faster, so have to deal with that. But amazing what heat, little extra heat it does, and it really makes it set up quicker, especially when it's in a high, big volume like this. When it's thinned out, it takes longer, but when it's in a volume like this, then it heats up quicker. Okay. Sure looking forward to fishing again in this thing. It's a pink salmon year this year, so, and it looks like they're going to open the spring salmons not until September 1st out there in the tidal waters of the ocean and by sandheads there. But looks like we'll be able to fish for pinks in the meantime. Apparently they're open now, but there's not a lot there at the moment. They have to, usually by the time you get to mid-August, they're getting thicker and thicker, and by the time you get to the end of August, it's even thicker. A lot of fun to catch, not quite as tasty as the sockeye, but a lot of fun to catch. Sometimes I can them, sometimes we'll cook them fresh. This year I think I might can some. And I guess I gotta catch it first. So I'm gonna have a boat ready first. That's the big thing. Had some busy days, so I haven't had a chance to do much taping or working on this. So got some holidays coming up, so a couple of days. So I was hoping to have more done by now on this thing, but looks like it's not gonna happen this time. But tomorrow's another day. Church tomorrow, so I don't know if we'll do much at all tomorrow, but we'll see. And, but, yeah, that's right. Don't forget to go to church. God is great. Okay. That's all done. Just got some little thing here in the front to do. I don't know if you could. There. Just gonna do some tabbing in here. Do have some drain holes under here. You can kind of see there's a void there, and that's just in case water gets on this side, I can drain into this side, and I can drain it out of my bilge well if I need to. So. Leave that. I think I'll leave that for now. That's good. There, it's all done. Check it out. Epoxy is smoking. I was getting hot. I was holding on to it. I'm like, whoa, this is really getting hot. And yeah, it's setting up, I guess. Yeah, boy, you think this stuff would just catch on fire. I guess it just creates so much heat. Anyway, so I got it, the first stringer in, got it tabbed in. Few joins in it here and there, but that's okay. I'm going to go over it one more time with one longer one on each side, and yeah, glassed into the corner there and in the front. So I had to put that stick there to kind of keep it straight because I wanted to bow out all the time. So yeah, so that's how far I got. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get the other stringer in here, get that glassed in. And then I'm gonna figure out my bilge well will go in here. I think I'll be able to glass in the middle stringer then at that time, and it'd be easier to figure out the framing for my bilge well. I think I'm gonna make it about 7.5 by 10, so 7.5 this way by 10 this way. So I'll have to lay a piece of plywood down here because it's kind of dished here because it's a hall, right? So we have to shave the edges off a bit so it sits fairly flat, and put some thickened epoxy down there to hold that plywood down and make sure it's coated good with epoxy resin. And then I can add my framing on top of that and glass that in, and then I'll have cut out the hole for the floor, and the floor can go on. Got to do probably a bit of shimming, I think. I don't know, I'm gonna wait till everything cures, and then put the plywood on, because when you put your fiberglass on the top part here, when you go over top, and goes over like that, then it's makes it a bit thicker. So yeah, so that's how far I'm so far. Yeah, like I say, it's when it's hot out, even though I got the slow hardener, it sets up pretty quick. So tomorrow's supposed to be cooler, so but we'll see how it goes tomorrow. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing other things coming up in the future here. Once I get this boat all done, I'm gonna do some fishing footage, show a few little secrets of mine, salmon fishing with I love using hoochies. Hoochies are my favorite, so I'll have some tips and tricks on that, and hopefully my son will let me take his GoPro out there, and yeah, it'll be fun. I'll try to have somebody with me so they can film, and yeah, so there we go. And also I might do some hunting videos in the fall, so I'm looking forward to doing that. My name is Chilcotin Rob. I do have property in the Chilcotin, which is in British Columbia, Canada, and also a place in the Caribou, which is part of the Chilcotin. So some of the lake fishing there and stuff like that, I might do some kokanee fishing, and maybe some rainbow trout fishing, and some lake trout fishing. Some different ideas and different tips for all those species. Also, I want to give a little update on this these electric scissors, these electric shears. Wow, they work fast. So if you want to cut, you just here you go. Just like that, just like butter. So pretty happy with those so far. Save a lot of time. It's better than scissors, I think, anyway. And the charge seems to last quite a while too, so. Oh, you've seen lots of pictures of the boat. Just thought I'd give you a quick little picture of the motor. Here it is, the Nissan. It's 2005, like I said earlier in my first video. 40 horse. It's been a pretty good motor for me. Very happy with it. Only had one issue, and that was a starter solenoid, I believe. Last year, it just key would turn, but no clicking, no nothing, and like battery power, no problem. So I just put the pull start rope on here. One pull, well, actually it was two pulls. Second pull, fired up right away. So it wasn't a switch thing. So I thought, that's kind of odd. And then we fished and fished all day, and all day, half the day. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to turn it off, see if it starts. And then it started normally. So I'm like, what the heck? So talked to my mechanic friend who originally worked at the place where I bought this from, and he said it's probably this solenoid right here. So I did cheap out. I found something on Amazon for around like $40 or something like that, and put it in. And I haven't had a chance to try it yet because I took the motor off when I was going to do all this transom and stringer work and stuff. So, and I just installed it on here now. So, but yeah. So yeah, it's a Nissan brand, but actually made by Tohatsu, and it's direct injection. So basically, fuel injected, the oil gets injected, and the fuel gets injected, and it's pretty good on oil. It's not too bad. If I fill up this tank, it's a 2-liter tank. If I go it all day long, it goes down to about here-ish, sort of somewhere around here-ish. Yeah. So, but that's a lot of trolling and stuff, and then I think it's about a 10-12 mile run each way out to where I fish, and then all around there. So, yeah, it's actually made by Tohatsu, and at that time in 2005, Tohatsu actually made all the outboards for Mercury that were 30 horsepower and under. So if you think you bought a Mercury back then, even up to not too long ago, it's probably made by Tohatsu. Probably is. So I think actually now Honda bought out Tohatsu, and so still Japanese, I guess, but just one of those big companies gets bought up by another big company, and yeah, it's just the way the world is. So Tohatsus are still a good motor. Hondas are great motors. I think though, if I was to buy another motor, I'm looking kind of at Yamahas, but I think they're a little bit overpriced. I think at Tohatsu you get a better value. So, but anyway, hopefully this motor lasts a lot longer, because I don't plan on buying one, because they're like, time you get them taxes out the door, like 10 grand for a 40 horsepower, that's a bit much. So, but anyway, if anything goes wrong with this, if I'm able to fix it, I'll do it. And if something goes wrong with it and I have to fix it, I will do a video on it. So all the other people out there that have the same type of motor can see what I did, and maybe they have the same issue, but I haven't seen too many issues with these. So yeah, pretty happy with it so far. All right, so I got 2 of the stringers lashed in now. Bit of a learning curve yesterday on this stringer. I did tabbed it in all on the sides, went up the side, I didn't go over the top. So I thought maybe after I'm done the tabbing, I'll go over the top and go past that. Well, 1708 it's pretty thick material, and it doesn't like to bend that very well, or very well at all. So yeah, it didn't turn out as good as I thought. So I thought, no, I'm just gonna not do that. I'm just gonna really put lots of coats of resin on the top parts of the stringers, I was going to run just a little 1.5 inch piece all the way along. Still might do that, I'm not sure yet. But I just coated it really, really good, and there's about 3 coats of resin on each board. And of course the glass goes up pretty far, so not to worry. And it's tabbed all in there really well. And I put 2 coats of epoxy, actually more than that, 3, because originally I just coated the stringers with epoxy themselves, got them all tacky, and put some thickened epoxy in the bed where the stringers were going to lay, so if there's any voids or holes or dips or whatever, it'd fill that. So I did that with the thickened epoxy in both of them, so it seemed to turn out okay. But working in this heat, it's a bit of a challenge with this epoxy. Even though I got the slow hardener, it works quick. It starts getting hot in your hand. It's pretty funny. It starts smoking almost sometimes. And actually, it did smoke a few times. I'm like, ooh, okay, I gotta stop using this, and then all of a sudden, instant gel, just like that. So, but yeah, it's coming along, taking a lot longer than I thought, but that's just the way she goes sometimes, right? So, and I've gone through tons and tons of these buckets and gloves and brushes, and oh my gosh, it's just, I'm starting to recycle some of them. I throw them in the freezer once they've cured, and then take them out of the freezer, and the resin seems to pop out easier of the buckets. So I think I'm just going to get some more, because some of them are just cracking when I try to take them out. So, and I'm on my 3rd jug of resin and hardener. So yeah, and I've already used one whole one of the 403 6-ounce one, just for the thickened epoxy. Just broke into the new one here, so yeah, you'd be surprised how much material you go through. It looks like I'm going to have enough mat to do the floor and all that kind of stuff, so I'm really hoping for. It should be, I'm pretty sure. I just got one more stringer to go, and then I should be good. Glad I got these shears, these electric scissors. They save a lot of cutting, a lot of time cutting for sure. And yeah, so it's coming along. I'm getting a little impatient, but that's okay. We need patience. So, like I say, it's really hot today. Real hot today. I think it's 30 something. So yeah, learning curve. If you're gonna do your resin epoxy, I wish I would have known this stuff doesn't smell that bad. Otherwise, I would have done it in the over the winter and the early spring in here in my shop. But I didn't know, so I thought it was just really smelly like the last time I did it. And I thought, well, I'm not doing that in my shop, because it'll just stink out my shop. So, but yeah, so things are going okay. Doing lots of learning, and like I say, if you've done this before, you got any tips for me that I could have done or should have done or whatever, let me know. I love comments. And yeah, I'll be doing some more stuff on my channel, not just boat repair. This is just something I had to fix it, so I thought I'd do just kind of show you how I've gone. I mean, I gotta still make the Bilgewell frame area here. Once I get that other stringer glassed in, then I can make that. So got some holidays coming up, so maybe a bit before I do any more videoing. So, but I'll take my camera with me on going up to a lake, do some kokanee fishing, so that should be fun. And maybe I'll do a little bit of filming, maybe share some tips and tricks of my kokanee tips that I use, or secrets. Yeah, and then we'll be doing, once the GRU is finished here, then I'm hoping to head out to the ocean and fish for some spring salmon and some pink salmon. Yeah, and I'll show you a few tricks that I do when I'm out there as well. And yeah, pink salmon aren't the most tasty fish, but they taste pretty good fresh. But they're excellent on the sport. Like, they jump and they go nuts. They are a fun fish to catch. So yeah, sometimes we even, if we see schools of them, sometimes we break out the spinning rods and just start casting pink lures to the school, and sometimes you pick them up that way, or just off your downrigger. But yeah, it should be an exciting time. Hopefully I can get this project done, and I'll be out there fishing the mouth of the Fraser River off Sandheads. And if you see the GRU out there, give me a wave. Say, hey, Chilcote and Rob, how's it going? And yeah, So there we go. And still got to obviously put the splash well back on, so that'll be a bit of a thing to do too. Not too bad, just have to do the joints here and over there. And like I said, I think I'll grind it down part way on both sides, and then lay my cloth in there. Might be able to do 2 layers, I'm not sure. So we'll sort of start small and then get bigger kind of thing. And then fill it in, and yeah, have to do some gel coat repair. Probably just gel coat this whole back because I got a lot of holes and stuff I have to fill with epoxy, thickened epoxy anyway. So lots to do yet, and I'll keep filming. Well, got the stringers glassed in now, so I'm done with that job. Got them all tabbed and glassed and coated. I didn't do the over top of the wood with the fiberglass. People probably give me heck for that, but there's about almost 4 coats of resin on top of those boards. So I don't think anything's going to penetrate that for years. So it should be good and strong, well tabbed in, very done, very finished. I do not want to do this again. So still got to do the bilge well in here, frame that up, and get the right angles and that sort of stuff. And yeah, that'll go have to be the next thing to do. But yeah, looking forward to getting this done. So once I get the bilge well framed in and glassed in, and then I can put the floor on, cut the hole out for the bilge well, and then I'll epoxy coat the bottom of the floor, probably give it a couple coats or more, or maybe even 3, not sure yet, depends how much time I have. And then the top side, once I got it screwed down and epoxy down, then I will lay a layer of epoxy and then a layer of glass mat of the 1708, nice and thick, and then probably two or 3 layers of epoxy on top of that, and then that should be it for fiberglassing. I do have to do some hull repair. I noticed in the front there where the middle stringer is, I could see kind of like daylight kind of shining through. I thought, that's odd. So what it was is just on the bow, keel, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if we can see it here. It was banged a few times. I guess it's too dark to see, but anyway, under here, hard to see, basically just from launching when it goes onto the trailer. And over the years, well, 20 plus years I guess now, so what happens is sometimes when you're trying to put it on the trailer and it's windy, it would hit on the bar here instead of on the wheel, the rubber roller, and then it would damage the hull. So I'll have to fix that, and I got a bunch of holes to fill and stuff on here yet, and yeah, go from there. Got any suggestions, like I always say, or hints, or make fun of me, whatever, I don't care. Always enjoy comments. Give me a thumbs up, and yeah, looking forward to getting this finished for sure. So get out there and get some salmon fishing in before it's finished for the year.